What is the problem with mobile gaming nowadays? I can't find the button for grenade or for sliding because in the middle of it, it's just simply difficult. You think about how to shoot the guy instead of how to find the button that is responsible for those actions. That's where swipe pads come in. You keep precision of your thumb actions, but you kind of gain 4 new buttons per each finger. The initial idea was kind of how to make something in between just your thumb controlling your smartphones and the bulky gamepads that can be attached to like your device. Okay, so what do we have here? Let me try to decompose that solution so that we better see what's the actual solution at hand. Here you've got the whole device. Now, what about the electronics? So the brain of the whole operation is like a piece that you can actually take out that holds the battery and all the other stuff. So this part is responsible for running the whole engine, while the things on the bottom between the soft shell and the hard shell are actually all the sensors that make us know how you click, how fast, so that we can adjust to you. Swipe pads and button mapping. So how do we deal with that? Can you actually edit what the specific buttons on the device would work like what actions they trigger? You can set them up to whatever you want. So it can be either a jump, it can be a grenade shoot, maybe some kind of secondary action that usually is hard to access on the virtual screens. Besides the fact that you can set up each of those buttons to do something different, you can actually add new ones to keep them on the screen for something custom. So, on one end, we want to fight the virtual screen clutter, but on the other, it's not as bad if you added it yourself. Now, would you like to play, I don't know, maybe some shooters? Having the slide, shoot action, grenade, or whatever we need? It's all simple, native, and you can do it like instinctively. You don't have to look for the small button on the phone. For me, the main reason on playing on smartphones is basically all the games that I can emulate, back from Super Nintendo through PlayStation 2 and maybe even through Sega Dreamcast, right? So I love playing emulated games on my phone, but you know what sucks is that they try to show all the buttons on the virtual screen. So basically, you've got like a PlayStation controller and all buttons of it on the screen. Now, try hitting the right one when it's needed. Do you want to play Cyberpunk on your phone? Possible. Not only possible, it's pretty fun. You've heard of cloud gaming by now, right? That you can use like NVIDIA GeForce or maybe something different, a solution that allows you to play AAA games on the phone. But the issue that still stands is that those phones are not adjusted for playing on them AAA titles. So the issue is, how do I keep my sanity and the screen clutter in place while playing an AAA game through cloud gaming? And these solve that issue. How? Because basically your hands become a controller. Now, what about having some, let's say, strategies that usually need a mouse? Well, those would be kind of difficult, but with swipe pads, no issue. You can play MOBAs like League of Legends or Dota because like the actions are much simpler. So it's basically you get much more snappy reactions. What about like fighting games or maybe some different RPGs? Well, I would say they make it easier because they allow you to act kind of like a mouse. So it's much easier, to pick items, to select them, to choose certain actions, and you don't have to look at the screen constantly. So whatever you play, I think we can handle it. Have you ever tried using, a touch controller on a virtual screen or augmented reality? It's extremely difficult, and you wouldn't guess why. Because you just don't see the cursor. Basically, you don't see on the screen where your finger is, and that makes it difficult. But we have a solution for that. Is it the Johnny Mnemonic virtual glove to explore the internets? No, that's much simpler. You know what? And I can even, wear it while my VR glasses are on. That's this simple. Now, pair it with Bluetooth, and I don't have to look at the screen anymore. 3 founders: Mateusz Godala, Kamil Warulik, Mateusz Warygórski. Godala displayed Tylko all the marketing and performance marketing in the world that you could fit into one person's body. I guess he will deal with the scaling. Vadulik, he's the crazy scientist in our team. Basically the guy that spent 2 years in his basement trying to come up with swipe pads because he couldn't get that idea out of his head. And guess what? He delivered. He always delivers, just like he did his UX agency, Flying Bisons. And last but not least, the face of the product, Mr. Valigura. I am the guy that runs analytics, data engineering, and actually worked on the national ID and money and tobacco tracking for Polish printing secure solutions. So basically a national company that does all the important stuff. Give me $1. Now, seriously, why we need your spare change for? To forecast first batch of production of swipe pads. Now, we get $1, you get a huge discount, fair deal, all done transparent, payment through Stripe, you can charge back whenever you feel like. Like for me, that's the future of gaming. Like how simpler can it be? You basically keep your control on the smartphone, just as you do every day, but you get 4 new buttons for each of your finger. Like, can you get something better than that? I don't think so. Join 5,000 plus gamers on the waitlist and get 37% off at launch.